It was built in 1968. It must have been here around for nearly 50 years. We have about 400 residents. They are mostly seniors and some are low-income family members with all the races, mainly Chinese, Malay, Indian. Staying at this place, you know, when I used to walk near the Thai Hoa Kwan Center, I used to meet Mr. Gerard, Mr. Singh. You know, they used to sit down and they would say hi to me.
The redevelopment of blocks 29 and 31, Lorong 5 Toa Payoh, right, is part of HDB's efforts to rejuvenate the aging estate. With this, tenants can move out to newer rental flats elsewhere or buy a new flat with the help of our housing grants if they are financially ready. Before, during and after a relocation, there is a lot of thoughtful and thorough preparation. For example, back end at HDB, we anticipated that many of the elderly tenants, they would prefer to continue staying in Toa Payoh. So around 1 year ahead of the actual relocation, we started to look out for and reserve replacement flats within Toa Payoh. And these are flats that the affected tenants can choose to move into. So before the relocation, we did a lot of engagement with community partners to see how best we can give support to affected tenants. We spoke with Toa Payoh East CC staff and grassroots volunteers, MSF Social Service Office, Care Corner, FSC, Thai Hoa Kwan, SAC, Care Corner Cluster Support, and IMH, culminating in a meeting where representatives from each agency come together to discuss any notable concerns and issues just before we commence the relocation so that partners can put a face to names and also forge that initial bond.
Many of the vulnerable seniors visited the GSAC SAC at Toa Payoh and voiced their concern to us regarding the relocations. I still remember very clearly that many seniors flocked to the centre the next day after they received the HDB and block exercise letter. Many shared that their neighbours are like their big family. And they do not wish to be separated from their neighbours.
We acknowledge that the relocation process is, of course, not going to be easy. Hence, we want to ensure that all affected tenants have a smooth and safe transition to their new homes. We also anticipated that tenants may be taken aback at the point of the relocation announcement. So, we prepared care packs for them. This gesture was well received by the tenants. It is very heartening when the tenants can feel that we genuinely care for their well-being. We also set up on-site enquiry counters at the affected blocks to address any queries that tenants may have with this help with soothing their initial anxiety. This initial on-site enquiry counter was the first in a series of on-site enquiry counters that we subsequently set up just before replacement flat selection exercises to address tenants' queries on the matter.
As a grassroots, as a RN chairman, when we came to know about the relocation of the residents from these two blocks, suddenly we galvanized all the respective agencies.
The staff from the SAC assisted the seniors in referring and facilitating any seniors' feedback and requests to the relocation group consisting of HDB, volunteers from the SGSACs, social worker grassroots, as well as in bridging communications differences between the residents and the relocations group.
Prior to them moving in, our center manager from TP31 informed our team here.
When the idea was mooted to us by Dolly, I personally was going to ask, oh wow, it's quite a big project. Actually, a relocation project is huge because not only are you talking about people moving, you're talking about emotions, you're talking about how to settle them thereafter. So it's almost like an end-to-end process.
There may have been some senior citizens who, with some personal problems or mobility issues, would request for a specific flat at a specific location. So when they approach their advisor for assistance, So we will seek to assist them. And moreover, most of them are not digital savvy. We often have meetings with the SGSAC and the HDB staff, and then assist them in whatever way, especially like changing of address. When we come together as all these agencies, we can identify their problem. Even when they want to move into their new locations, some of the flats may not be ready.
From these conversations, we learned that SGSAC, you have already been serving free meals to the tenants at Block 29 and 31. So you are familiar with the community, and we reached out to you, and you kindly agreed to partner us in the relocation exercise by helping the seniors with packing, cleaning and other moving related matters. For this, you even brought in the corporate partners.
Childcare Fund, we have a mission which is to support the less fortunate in Singapore.
It's definitely an honor, and for us to participate, especially for this kind of project.
Initially, we thought that they will have a lot of sentimental value on the things that they kept, which is true after we have started to help them. Which it was a challenge for us to convince them to dispose of certain things that actually is not essential for them to bring over.
One of the challenges is in terms of communication language. We must partner up the right volunteers to the right seniors. The other concern is that the health condition of the seniors, whether they can pack the stuff or what is the help needed, and given a short time frame, what other help that we can provide to make sure that we can meet the timeline for the resettlement.
Other challenges was the coordination of the movers, getting the competitive movers to help us, and then all this, a lot of time was spent, and of course, depends on the weather on the day of the moving as well.
Some of the senior move over to other part of Singapore, so we also do a onboarding, connecting them with our other SP service provider. So for people that are moving in here, we are thankful that we have a whole bunch of service provider and volunteers to help these seniors to move over.
The few parties actually work together very well, and I attended one of the farewell parties, so we call, for seniors moving to the few blocks in the very near, I think, the few weeks. And I saw how actually everyone put together the event itself to actually say goodbye and then hello as well. So the seniors actually do see that they are being handheld along the way. Some of them were curious. In fact, what I heard was at Block 5, one of the seniors came to take a look at the unit, wasn't quite sure. So he actually came to the center and asked the staff, I say, is this a good place to go to, come to stay? And Madam Toa, who's our cook at this center, Block 5, she actually said, come here, you'll be cared for because you're on the ground floor. You can come over here for food and programs. And the team here is all ready to serve the seniors. Home cooked food, I think it means a lot to them. So we try to actually transit that over for them as well. So generally, I've observed that the seniors who moved, I think the most immediate thing to them is whether they still receive the same kind of support that they did when they were over at 29 and 31, where a center was serving them at that time. Onboarding, so what happens was that Dolly and the team, and also your team, HP, inform us about seniors who are actually pending their move and so on. So what we did was SGOAIC was also involved in this. Etang, I know she was looking after the two blocks in the east. So we actually came together and we actually met the seniors actually once they have their keys and they were moving in. We actually arranged for a first meetup over at their home. So we wanted to introduce ourselves first and to let them know where we are. That sort of built that bond between us and them as well, to let them know that they can come to us anytime. So we actually did that first intro over at their homes, and then let them know where we are, gave them a contact number, and we actually observed that a number of them actually came down to the center the following week to come and see us and to understand what programs we have. I think that part about activities and programs is something that they also look forward to, trying to find things to keep themselves active, I would say. Once after they make the initial introduction and senior comes to the home, we would take them in actually as like a befriending case first. Yes. So every week it's either a meetup or a phone call, trying to actually get them to to check in, a regular check-in, so that they know that they are not forgotten, to be honest.
They are all within the Toa Payoh East division. When we organize activities, we will have them in our mind, and definitely we are one big family within Toa Payoh East.
I think what is most important is really how we put the tenants at the heart of our work. It really warms my heart to see firsthand the commitment of the SGSAC team and our community partners. Whether it's weekdays or weekends, the volunteers commit their time to be there, working alongside HDB to help the vulnerable tenants. Representatives from the different agencies, we communicate via a chat group that HDB sets up. We have open and direct discussions with each other on any surfaced issues quickly throughout the relocation exercise until the very last tenant moves out.
For the volunteers, it will be like something new for them, first time doing a resettlement, like they need to engage the movers, all this. So basically all comes from the experience. So luckily, some of us, we did the first time, then we pass it down to them so that it will have a smooth transition for them.
We have limited resources and also fundings. So what we can do is to really share our so-called experiences with other organizations or entities.
And also we have this volunteer leave that we can actually use.
We have 2 volunteering leave per year. So from there, we Icon Singapore will create like a lot of volunteering events, and from there we have to like email blast out so that our team members can sign up if they are interested. And sometimes we also use this as an opportunity as a team bonding event.
Fortunately, we have a very big-hearted sponsor in Mr. Chia to support in terms of monetary and the effort that we have put in. And importantly is if all Singaporeans are like-minded, like us, right, which whether small or big, I think they are willing to spare their time, money for the better cause. I think we can have more of these groups to support.
Many helping hands were the key to the success of the Toa Payoh resettlement projects.
We are grateful to have a huge team of volunteers and the people on the ground to help us, to help them to move into TP15.
Different parties actually need to work together, because you can't just pass the baton and then the baton gets passed on, but you don't care about the next few bits about it. Yeah.
I just want to put on record the volunteers from SGSAC. They are of great help on behalf of our RN.
So we are very grateful, and of course so are the close to 50 households that you have helped so far.
We RN committee have to thank you all for coming on board. When you first started, we thought that we are going to travel the journey alone, but therein come our great help. We really appreciate it, and thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ali. Thank you.
Thank you.